Hey, Sean here. I'm a team and leadership performance coach and the author of the book One Drop of Poison: How One Bad Leader Can Slowly Kill Your Company. In this series of videos, I'm introducing you to the toxic leader archetypes. If you spot yourself in any of these archetypes, don't worry about it. Some very well-intentioned leaders get this wrong. We're all doing the best we can with what we know. In this video, we're going to cover two of the archetypes, the peacock and the ladder climber. I'm covering peacocks and ladder climbers together because their motives are the same, but they differ in an important way that changes the kind of poison they inject into a culture. So let's go. The peacock. Peacocks are trying to climb the corporate ladder by showing off to their bosses. They put together fancy PowerPoint decks full of great things their teams have accomplished. The hope is that these successes will be attributed to the peacock's glorious leadership, and at too many companies, it is. In reality, peacocks are usually in the way. In other words, these wins are being achieved in spite of the peacock, not because of them. Peacocks are obsessed with internal optics. So while their teams are trying to, solve actual problems, the peacock leader is trying to make sure they never look bad. Inherently, most peacocks are quite insecure. They're usually suffering from imposter syndrome, a feeling that they have been promoted above their skill level. This can make them highly suspicious of those who disagree with them. In fact, peacocks will often identify loyalty as one of their top values. If they had a slogan, it would be, "You're either with me or you're getting a target on your back." Look, there's nothing wrong with having loyalty as a value, but peacocks think they're entitled to it. They don't think they need to earn it. And as a coach of a peacock, I'd probably suggest to a client who had loyalty as a value to really explore what's behind that with a therapist to make sure it isn't coming from a trust issue, because trust issues definitely get in the way of team synergy and performance. Now, a peacock would never get away with this kind of behavior if their leaders didn't allow it to work. One company I worked with had a peacock leader who was responsible for 150 or so employees. The engagement scores for those employees was tanked. This company only measured engagement annually, which isn't frequent enough, but it didn't matter in this case because they ignored the results anyway. Year after year, the engagement scores for this group were dismal. So bad that one year they were among the lowest in the company. But because the peacock's leaders were so wowed with her PowerPoint decks, they continually ignored her low engagement scores, reaffirming to her that her strategy was working. If you have thriving peacock leaders in your organization, your company culture is rewarding leaders who accomplish goals without any consideration of high turnover, low morale, lack of innovation, and low productivity that's left in the wake of whatever their teams did manage to achieve. If I were advising the leader of this particular peacock, I would tell them to say something like this: "Sarah, these are impressive results, but your engagement scores are some of the lowest in the company. It doesn't do us any good to achieve these outcomes if a large majority of your team wants to quit at any given moment. It looks like you've got a 20% turnover rate from last year, and that doesn't include the people who left your team but didn't leave the company. That's higher than we want to see. We're entrusting you with the human beings that we've spent a lot of money recruiting and training. So when we have to replace these people, we're actually losing money against these accomplishments that you're bringing us. Plus, people don't perform at their best when they're disengaged and dispirited. So what I'm looking for from you in the next 30 days is a plan for how you're going to turn this around. I've brought in a coach to help you get to the bottom of it and to help you strategize ways to turn it around. I want to stress here that we believe in you and you're not in trouble. We just need to focus on the right results first. We're confident that you'll continue to be able to bring us these great accomplishments and much more with a team that really wants to be here. So that's our first priority. Now, imagine we were role-playing here for a minute. Let's pretend that the peacock responded with, "The problem is that I have detractors on my team that don't believe in what I'm trying to accomplish. They're the ones bringing the scores down." Now, can you see the disloyalty thing is kind of written all over that? The correct response to that is, "Sarah, leaders need to lead. If you strongly believe in what you're trying to accomplish, your job is to win over, not coerce, those you lead to follow you." If you cannot do that, it might be worth questioning what you're trying to do. These are subject matter experts who work for you. If they're all disagreeing with your direction, it may not be them that is wrong. Leaders don't have all the answers, they have all the questions. Your job is to dare to know something and not be married to it. Drop your ideas into the room and open them up for scrutiny from these experts. A strong leader isn't the one who pig-headedly marches on in spite of those they're responsible for. A strong leader is the one who has followers who've bought into the purpose and mission. That comes through collaboration, not commanding. Okay, that's enough about the peacock. Let's move on to the ladder climber. As the name suggests, the ladder climber is also trying to move up the organization, but they are way more transparent about that goal. They usually don't shut up about it. They will tell anyone who will listen that they are destined for greatness and the work they're doing is beneath them. They take on projects that are highly visible and they ignore the ones that won't get them notice. If you're above the ladder climber, you will be constantly asked for checklists of what needs to be done to get promoted. If you're to the side of the ladder climber, you're never quite sure if your skull will one day be used to get them a bit higher. If you work for a ladder climber, expect lots of micromanaging type behavior for projects with high visibility and almost no support for the important work that you do that flies below the radar. I hope you can spot how peacocks and ladder climbers insidiously poison organizations and their cultures with their behaviors. This is especially true if they can hire or promote other leaders. They will definitely promote loyal people who act just like them. This is how the behavior spreads like a toxin. For more information about the peacock or the ladder climber archetypes, what to do if you work for one, as well as the other 8 archetypes and a whole bunch of other tips for good leadership skills, see my book, One Drop of Poison, How One Bad Leader Can Slowly Kill Your Company. The link to buy it is in the description below. Please be sure to like and subscribe to be notified when videos come out for the remaining archetypes. Thanks for watching. Now put away your feathers and go talk to your teams.